13
You know,
more
get out,
weeks
mingle.
to roast in.
I know you miss school, but you know.
I'm telling you, if I had to do it, if I had to pick, I would go back. Like, cause life ain't no joke. I ain't even.
We
I'm
have
already
this
starting
talk.
to feel it.
I tell you, I know
You ain't even lived like it. You just.
I'm not a very exciting person, but my child is so dull.
What do you mean I'm dull? Like,
Oh, I'm telling you this
so I'm a
because I
bored
love
person.
you. Yeah, you need to get out and
I don't
mingle,
know.
and you know.
That's some phone shit life, man. Because I'm gonna tell you,
But this is what he do. Look at what he doing now. He paces back and forth. This is what he do at home. I'm telling you. See what you doing?
Why I can't pick up?
praise the mighty Yahweh. Welcome back to the house of Yahudah. I'm Minister Michael Yisrael. And welcome back to the second portion. So now let's get into prayer. Let us face the east. Open up the second portion with a prayer. Let's be thy. Oh, I'm sorry, my elder. Would you mind? No? Oh, okay. Blessed be Yahweh. Thank you, Yah. Bless you, Yah. For these words are accepted by you, for without you would not. Praise Yah. Let us turn to Psalms 136. And what we'll do is I'm going to have my daughter get up here and she's going to read Psalms 136. She'll read the verse and then we'll do the latter verse. So she'll read the verse and then we'll do it for his mercy and do it forever. So baby, come up here and read, please. Yeah. Praise Yah.
Oh, give thanks unto Yah, for he is good.
For his mercy endureth forever.
Oh, give thanks unto Elohim of Elohims.
For his mercy endureth forever.
Oh, give thanks unto Yah of Elohims.
For his mercy endureth forever.
To him who alone doeth great wonders.
For his mercy endureth forever.
To him that by wisdom made the heavens.
For his mercy endureth forever.
To him that stretched out the earth above the waters.
For his mercy endureth forever.
To him that made great lights.
For his mercy endureth forever.
The sun to rule by day.
For his mercy endureth forever.
The moon and stars to rule by night.
For his mercy endureth forever.
To him that smote Egypt and their firstborn.
For his mercy endureth forever.
And brought out Israel from among them.
For his mercy endureth forever.
With a strong hand and with a stretched out arm.
For his mercy endureth forever.
To him which divided the Red Sea into parts.
For his mercy endureth forever.
And made Israel to pass through the midst of it.
For his mercy endureth forever.
But overthrew Pharaoh and his host in the Red Sea.
For his mercy endureth forever.
To him which led his people through the wilderness.
For his mercy endureth forever.
To him which smote great kings.
For his mercy endureth forever.
And slew famous kings.
For his mercy endureth forever.
Sihon, king of the Amorites.
For his mercy endureth forever.
And Og, the king of Bashan.
For his mercy endureth forever.
And gave their land for an inheritance.
For his mercy endureth forever.
Even an inheritance unto Israel his servant.
For his mercy endureth forever.
Who remembered us in our low estate.
For his mercy endureth forever.
And hath redeemed us from our enemies.
For his mercy endureth forever.
Who giveth food to all flesh.
For his mercy endureth forever.
O give thanks unto Elohim of heaven.
For his mercy endureth forever. Praise ye Yah. Hallelujah. Beautiful job, sweetie. All right. Praise the Most High Yahweh. Now, whew. All right. I got a lot of catching up to do. So we got a few topics, y'all willing I'm going to cover. Are there any testimonies before I go any further? If you don't have anything now, that's okay. I do. Praise Yahweh. My wife will be coming home today. So, yeah, praise Yahweh. So she'll be coming home today. So I'll probably be dependent on if she, keep this on me. I may have to stop class kind of early so I can go get her. All right. Something that it's a lot that I have been learning that Yahweh has opened my mind to. Adopting a clean diet. A clean diet, right? Becoming vegan does not mean healthy. It just means you don't eat meat or animal products. But when you become plant-based, that's a whole different lifestyle. We were not vegans in the scripture. Why am I talking about this? Well, here's the reason why. When you get onto a diet and you remove, and let's say your bowel movements start becoming a little bit more regular. All right? Why is it that people who still have a plant-based diet still get sick? Like, it's people that have plant-based diets that get cancer, disease. There was one brother in particular that kind of shook me. He was a staunch vegan, and died from corona. And then you have someone that's not as healthy surviving it. But why is it that when you change your diet and you start eliminating regularly, why is it that people with vegan diets and plant-based diets still end up sick? Why do y'all think? Let's give a guess. Yes, sir.
Because their body was so used to eating. Say if they used to eat meat back in the day,
Okay.
then they just turned vegan.
Right.
The body is saying, "Oh, why are you you're not eating?" Your body will say, "You're not eating the meat anymore, so we're gonna slim you down." And next you know, you're sick because your body was so used to consuming meat
Mm-hmm.
that it.
That it went into shock.
I guess so.
Sort of like that. That's what happens when people get off of sugar. When they eat a lot of sugar and they be like, I leave sugar alone. It's like, because sugar's actually a narcotic. It really is. You can tell somebody off sugar. You look at, if you want to see what a heroin addict looks like, maybe not as severe, but in some cases it can be. Look at someone who's off of sugar, who leaves sugar alone. But on the flip side of that, once you stop eating certain things that was bringing your body down, your body is going to go into a state of where you might get sick. Your body's not getting sick because you're doing the wrong thing necessarily. Your body is eliminating more. The mucus coming out of your body. That's a cause. That's really, mucus plays two roles. The reason mucus, some people say, well, mucus is bad. Mucus really isn't bad. Mucus helps to get rid of the nasty stuff, the bacteria and things in your body. It comes out through your mucus. Okay? Now, what happens is when we don't eliminate the mucus, then it just holds on to those bad things, which ends up poisoning and messing up our bodies and our systems, right? So if you leave meat alone, that's not necessarily your body saying, okay, I need you to eat meat. I need you to, stop. Your body is getting through, just like if you fast. When you fast, if you've ever fasted, whether you had to do it because you were doing it for spiritual reasons or you had to go to a doctor visit, your body, you get headaches sometimes. You get headaches, you get sick to the stomach. Sometimes you feel real lethargic, sick, you feel weak. Well, that's your body in its healing process. That's what happens. Your body is actually, when you don't eat, your organs and everything are realigning themselves. Your stomach is about this big. Really, this is about this is how much you should be eating to have a normal digestive system. All right. And meat, it should be the smallest portion of food or substance on your plate. Your plate should be mainly fruits, legumes, vegetables. Meat should be a very small portion, and you don't need milk. You don't need milk. You do your nut milks. If you want to drink an animal's milk, if you drink goat's milk is as close to human milk as possible. It has almost the same minerals and nutrients that the body needs, the human body needs. So anyway, the reason that a lot of people who are vegan and plant-based still get sick is because they've eliminated everything but the toxic environment that they're in or the toxic relationship that they're in. When we change our diets, that's not just, I'm not going to eat McDonald's anymore, or I'm going to stop eating meat. No. When you change your diet, you first have to change your environment. Like, listen, changing your diet does not have to do with just what you consume through your mouth, but what you consume mentally as well. Mental consumption is just as damaging as physical consumption. So a lot of our bodies, I'm gonna tell you something. Look at the state of obesity. One of the reasons of obesity is one of the reasons for obesity is the fact that when you look at an obese person, sometimes you're looking at, their lifestyle. Like, for example, most of us eat when we stressed. Most of us don't eat when we stressed. Stress is so destructive that it'll cause us to overeat and undereat. Meaning that if you don't eat, then your metabolism can't work. So what your body does is, some people think, well, I'll just fast. Well, fasting won't necessarily help you drop weight, because your body will then start attacking the fat that's already in your body. So what ends up happening is you can get sick that way, of course. But then you don't lose weight because your metabolism isn't working. The metabolism isn't causing your body to go. That's why you should do at least 6 small meals a day. Brother Michael, why are you talking about this on Saturday? The reason being is because the reason that a lot of our thoughts are so jacked up is because of is because we only focus in on the one part of healing. In order to truly heal yourself, you have got to change your mindset. You got to change your environment sometimes too. When you're eating, you don't have to just eliminate the fats and the saturated fats. You got to eliminate the saturated drama. You got to eliminate the saturated just mess that people bring in your life. And then you'll notice that not only is your body able to function better, but so your mind. A lot of us eat our problems. When you see them wings on the big girl, the big guy, that could represent stress at home. When you see that fat stomach, that could represent stress in this life. Then the big hips, that could represent unemployment, not finding a job, or being at a job that you hate and you just stressed. We eat our problems. And that's what causes us to be sick. It also causes us to it can also aid in our mental health, having problems in our mental health. So when we change our diets, don't just change the food you eat, change the environment that you're in. Now, you may not have the money or the means to leave or walk out and be like, look, I live in the hood, so I can't move. Well, you just have to become adaptable to where you're able to still cleanse your mental by being in that wicked, well, I don't want to say that chaotic situation. So the reason that people who are on plant-based diets or on vegan diets get sick still is because they haven't let go of some other toxicities in their life. That's like putting on a new outfit and you ain't took a shower in 3 days. You know, you just got new clothes on, but you still stink. So you still gonna draw flies, even in your new dress or your new outfit. I just wanted to throw that out there. All right. Okay, like I said, I got a lot of stuff to cover. So, we about to have some fun. So, now, Hebrew word for the week. The Hebrew word for the week is prayer. Tefillah. Tefillah. Pray. It's spelled T-E-F-I-L-L-A-H. That's prayer. Now, the root word for prayer is executing judgment. Pray. Or thinking. Or thinking. To pray may also refer to a process of accounting and contemplation. So prayer isn't you just asking for something. It's also a moment of clarity and contemplating things. When you're having a conversation with the Most High, it don't have to be, hey, I need, hey, I want, hey, can you do for me? It can simply be a prayer of where you say, man, thank you for carrying me. Thank you for eliminating things out of my life that I thought I needed. Thank you for bringing things into my life I never thought I could have. Like love, prosperity. Thank you for a beautiful wife. Thank you for a strong and handsome husband. Thank you for a beautiful child. Thank you for allowing me to control my spirit when I wanted to cuss that person out who cut me off in traffic. Contemplating is prayer as well. It's also an act of self-analysis, self-evaluation. When you read the book of Psalms isn't just conversation, that's prayer. When David says things like I sat on my couch and I prayed, or when I thought on my ways, or when you read certain things like we read in the book of Psalms 8, those are things that you can meditate on like prayer. So prayer doesn't have to just be where you're asking. Prayer can be where you came to a moment of reflection. Yeah, I understand what you were telling me now. I get the message. Okay. Any questions or comments about that? That's our word of the week, prayer. Yes, ma'am.
Can you spell that Hebrew word?
I sure will. It's TEFILLAH.
How do you pronounce that?
Tefillah or tefillah. Prayer. You're welcome. All right. Now, earlier I asked you, I said, hey, give me, where the fellas at?
Eat them, give me to go get them.
Ain't that about something?
Figure it in there.
Tamarind gone. The man just walked out. Yeah, so it's okay. So anyway, earlier I said, hey, name me 5 things about something that you know. Then I asked you, give me 1 thing positive about you. So now I'm going to ask you, give me 5 things or 5 core values that you live by personally. Give me 5 core values. Yes. Core values. Core values are things that make up you. These are values that make up who you are, make up your personality, make up who you are. So give me 5 core values. 5 things that make you you. And if you can't, guess what? It's okay. You know why it's okay? Because most of us don't take time to think about our core values. Because we're so busy living by others' core value. But think about it. Every job and organization worth anything. When they apply for grants, they have to do what? They send in something known as, it's a form of core value that explains who they are. A lot of times we don't know who we are. So it's hard for us to explain. That's why it's so easy for us to sit back like, oh my gosh. Oh boy, I got a bunch of comments on here. I should have been on here. Sister Andrea, praise Yahweh. Praise Yahweh. Welcome back, sis. Praise Yah. Praise Yah. Sister Andrea, I'm going to go into it. I'm going to read these comments first. Sister Andrea says, praise the Most High. Shabbat Shalom, family. I want to give thanks to the mighty Yah for my life as well as my family. I thank the Most High for my spiritual journey. Praise Yahweh. We love you, Sister Angela. Sister Andrea. We love you. And Sister Yahuda's back. Praise Yahweh for her. Praise Yah. Says Shabbat Shalom. I am now working on my overall health and healing. Praise Yahweh. That is beautiful, sis. Says I pray the same for all of the family going through many issues. My love and support to us all in the struggle. Stay with Yah only. Beautiful words of wisdom, sis. Beautiful words of wisdom. Praise Yahweh. Beautiful, beautiful. So I got my sisters on here, Andrea, Yahuda, and we're about to have some fun. So what I want us to do is I want you to take time out of your day, write this in your notes. If you got it up here, put it up here. But I want you to come up with 4 core values that you're do 5 core values that you hold yourself to, that you're going to hold yourself to. And I want you to write them out. And I want you to post them somewhere in your house that you see all the time. If you're always in the bathroom because you're a diva, put it on the mirror. If you in your car, you post. If you're in your car a lot, just put it on your mirror. But that's what I want you to do. Why? Because if you realize the importance of you, I'm going to share a secret with you. If you realize the importance of you, then that may help you realize the importance of Yah. Because in the midst of your core values, you have core values because he allows you to develop into something special. That's your job. If you already have it, praise Yahweh. If you don't, work on it. Elder Nesha, did you want to share your 5? Beautiful.
Righteous,
Praise Yah.
respectful, loyal, and dependable.
Praise Yah. And those are beautiful core values. Very good. I wrote my core values out and posted them on the door leading to this one of the me and my wife's room. So when I walk in there, even though if I don't look at them, I got them colorful, so they right there. You know what I'm saying? So whenever you feel down about yourself, you look at your core values. Whenever someone comes to try to put you down or to try to make you conform into their box, you look at your core values and you say, my core values ain't gonna fit in your box. So that means that I'm my own person. Okay? All right. Next, turn with me to what should I do next? I got so much stuff on here. I got stuff on here for another 2 weeks. Wrote it down thinking I'm gonna get through it in one class. Well, something I want us to think about, something I thought about yesterday. And this is dealing with our walk with Yahweh. You know it's deep how, have you ever noticed that, let me ask you a question. Let's say you're driving down the street, right? And you know the speed limit is only 40, but you're doing 70. What are some things that would make you slow down on that road? You saw who?
Seeing the police.
There you go. I think that's one of the biggest ones. We don't even care if it's a armadillo in the road. We keep going. When we see the police, we slow down. Don't let him be behind us. We 10 and 2. We driving, looking at our mirrors, signaling. You know that little blinker thing that's in your car? People, please use it. We're signaling and we're doing all this stuff, and as soon as they zoom by, we turning back up the music, we taking off our seatbelt, we like, man, we giving them the finger as they drive by. But when it comes to the Almighty, we don't slow down on being wrong. We don't fix our wrong. But we're quick to fix our wrong when it comes to the police, like you said. We're quick to do that. I found myself doing that. I was driving. I have a lead foot. I'm not gonna lie. That's why I get to places fast. It ain't good, but hey, that's probably why I went through so many cars. So anyway, I put my foot on the gas, and my wife gets me because she was like, "Cause it's gonna mess up the brakes. Cause when you brake so fast, Mike, like I know what I'm doing. I'm fast and furious." So anyway, but I was driving. I wasn't doing nothing astronomical. I mean, it was 40. I was doing maybe like 45. So I'm driving, and as soon as I saw a police car, I slow down and get into 40. And I'm driving. I hit me like, I ain't do the 10 and 2. I'm still, because I'm cool. I ain't driving 10 and 2. So I'm driving. And I'm like, why don't we do this for y'all? Why don't we do this for the Most High? Is it because he's not there? Is it because we can't physically see him? Is that why we do a lot of the things that we do? Because he's not there? If Yahweh, let me ask this question. If Yahweh was sitting right there and you knew that he was Yahweh, and he said, "Brother Michael, I want you to teach on not wearing mingled garments." If I was to teach on not wearing mingled garments and you knew Yahweh was sitting right there, how many of us in here or that's out there listening will go, "I don't think Yahweh meant don't wear it. I don't think he's going to punish you"? How many of us would do that if we knew that Yahweh was sitting right there? I'm pretty sure a lot of us wouldn't. I'd have got a lot of, "Yep, you're right. No, let me see. Oh, let me take off my socks. Ain't gonna go." Huh? We be walking around here butt naked with towels on. Because he's sitting right there. We're like, "Nah, you right, Yahweh, no mingled garments." But because we don't think he's not, we think out of sight, out of mind. That's what we think. Yahweh is out of sight, so he's out of my mind. So I don't see the Most High. So, I'm wearing mingled garments right now. So, not me per se, I'm just using an example. But I'm wearing mingled garments right now. I've been blessed ever since. So, but when it comes to the police or something like that, we want to slow down the wrongdoing and fix ourselves and align ourselves so that we look good in the eyes of someone who ain't paying us no attention. You know how many times I done slowed down and drove past the cruiser and the police ain't even in there? But I still go because I'm thinking like, "Oh, he's somewhere." Well, why can't we have that same type of discipline when it comes to the Most High? You got your hand up?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, ma'am.
I was gonna say maybe it's because like if the cop pull you over, they gonna give you a ticket. That's gonna be on your insurance right away. But I feel like maybe we don't do the laws and commandments to like perfection because we're not being like not blessed, right? Like we're not being like we're not getting our ticket for not doing. Oh, I just stole something. I'm not gonna get a ticket for it unless I'm
Right.
getting caught in a sense.
Right.
But like, I don't know. Maybe the consequence comes later in a sense. Like, oh, you stole this now, so maybe in like a month from now you wait on rent because you short money or something. Like that could be your consequence from you stealing in a sense.
Okay. Well, I tell you what, because you brought out a good point. Turn with me to the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 8. Let's see what Solomon said about that. Yeah. Ecclesiastes. Ecclesiastes chapter 8. And my dear princess, will you read verse 11, please?
Because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily. Therefore, the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil.
There we go. That's why. Because a sentence isn't given, excuse me, right away. You lay with somebody's wife. Back in the day, you got stoned. Can't do that now. You steal. You got caught. You had to pay somebody back sevenfold, 7 times 7. Sevenfold. So we don't have those things set up anymore. We live in a free will society, in a sense, where we have the free will to do what we want without any repercussions. Or so we think. Turn with me to this. This is what should help us stay in line. Turn with me to the book of Psalms 50. Psalms 50. I read this before and I'm going to read it again. The thing that's deep is that, here's the thing. When, prior to that particular verse that I'm going to read, there was it's mentioned a lot of wickedness that's going on. So up until this particular verse, it's talking about a lot of wickedness is going on. So my dear love, will you read verse 21, please, of Psalms 50? Now keep in mind that Ecclesiastes 8 and 11, that because a sentence against an evil work isn't executed speedily, therefore it's set in the hearts of men to do evil. Remember that verse when we read the 21st verse of Psalms 50. Just because we might have got away with stealing something, we got away by being a talebearer, or we got away about being a liar or being disrespectful, that doesn't mean that Yahweh isn't making note of that. All right. Very good. Any comments or questions? Okay. Now, let's go into some of these questions that I have. Last week, Sister Angela asked a question about the role of a man. So we're going to talk about the role of a man. Now, a lot of women will say, hey, I want a man that's sort of like my father. My father took care of business. My father made sure that the house was in order. And I want my man to be like my father. And if you can't do that, then I don't want to be with you. Well, let me ask this question. How many of you women are willing to be like their mother? Some of their mothers. You got some mothers that weren't very good mothers. You got some daddies that weren't very good daddies. But how many of you women are willing to be like that man's mother? So it's like y'all want something for nothing. How selfish are you women? I want this man to do all these attributes that I think, because my father exhibited what a man is. So a man does this. But then what if that man comes to you and be like, well, my mama used to iron my underwear. My mama used to get up at 2 or 3 o'clock at night to make sure I had breakfast in the morning. My mama used to, yeah, she used to smell biscuits. My mama, I'm not talking about my mom, even though my mom was a beautiful woman. But how many women are willing to do that? So y'all women ask all this of us as men, but what do y'all bring to the table? What? Little meow? Guess what? All women got that. What else you got to bring to the table? We expect all this stuff from us men. We expect all this stuff from us men, but then what are you bringing? What? You got a little money? Got a little job? Got a little car? So do all the other women that's out here in the street. They got cars. They got jobs. Some of them got their own houses. Got money. What are you bringing? I think that a lot of times, I think that what we should be bringing to the table. Now, I'm not saying that a man should be allowed, and we're going to get into that, the role of the man as well as the woman. But I don't think that a man should just be a layabout. Meaning lazy. Don't want to work. Don't want you to take care of him. My mama took care of me. Well, you need to go back to your mama, because I don't want to marry a child. I want to be with a man. And I think that's fair for a woman to request that. What I don't think is fair is when a woman says, and and I've heard this from women, when they say, I want him to be like my daddy. Why you ain't, my daddy used to do this. Well, why you don't marry your daddy? Ew. Oh, it's ill. But you want me to be like him. Is that not ill?
Just carry.
Nah, forget all that. Forget all that. Why I say forget all that? Because unless you're willing to be like my mama, you don't come with me about being like your daddy. Yeah, I think that's fair or not. Then that's on you. If you choose to bring all the stuff in, like for example, like we were talking about earlier, setting standards. The problem is a man will never be like your daddy. Never. Because that was your daddy. When y'all made him, unless he had a twin, you ain't getting nobody else. Now you mentioned attributes. Attributes. Like hard worker. I can dig that. Great provider, I can dig that. But well, I'm just going to go into the lesson. So we're going to deal with, and I entitled this portion as the woman being the head of the household. Is that okay? Is that okay for you as the woman to be head of the household?
Man ain't doing his job.
Okay, she said, because if the man's not doing his job, what do you ladies think? Any other ladies? Somebody got to be the head?
Independent, strong.
I think, you know what? There's nothing wrong with being independent and strong. I just think that some of you women don't know how to handle that.
Being the head.
Being the head, being independent. Because independence don't mean arrogant. And it also don't mean haughty. And it also don't mean recognizing that you need help sometimes. But I don't think that women really know how to handle that. Uh-oh, brother. You said no controversy, so you throwing out a controversial comment. And I mean no disrespect, because I sure do respect my sisters. And I love y'all. I love y'all. But not a but like I'm about to put y'all down, because that ain't even how I'm getting down. But the only reason that I'm saying these things is because And as Sister Nadib said, she said, it's not Yah's design. But will, in the event Ish ain't present, I feel you. See, like she will, the man ain't present. It's kind of like what you were saying. And then Lioness, my sister said, no, not if your husband is still living. So what if your husband isn't pulling the weight in the house? Right? What if he ain't pulling, oh, sit down. What if he ain't pulling the weight in this house? In the house. Not saying I ain't that wasn't directed toward you at all. Okay. I don't want you to think like that, brother Mike Cat. You know, man, I work hard. I know you do, but I know both of y'all work very hard. So that was not directed toward you at all. But what if the man ain't pulling his weight in the house? And what is pulling the weight? Let's get that. Let me ask that question. Let me throw that out there. Because that's quick to be thrown in the air, like you ain't pulling your weight. What's pulling your weight as a man? Yes, ma'am.
Pulling your weight for it don't necessarily have to go for the man and the woman. If you know what bills that be taken care of, and if they're not taking care of the bills, then you know they're not pulling their weight. They're just a phrase that people like to use and everything. Same as a woman. If she needs that a bill needs to be paid and she can pay it and stuff, pay it. And you know, don't be talking about, oh, he's the man, he gotta do it. If he's not pulling weight, I mean, like, somebody gotta do it. Pulling your weight means you taking care of what needs to be done.
Okay, I can dig that. I feel that. Anybody else? That was good. That was a great, yeah, I think so. That was it, really. That was a great explanation. Because a lot of people look at pulling your weight as something more. You said what?
Like a 50-50 thing?
Yeah, like a 50-50 thing.
It's never 50-50.
It should never be 50-50 in your house. The man is always going to be the ruling factor. Now I can 51. But the man, it should never be 50-50 in the household. Now, what do you sisters feel about that? That it should never be 50-50 as far as the ruling class in the household. It shouldn't be 50-50. The Almighty made it to where the man is the head of the household. I'm saying that to be a misogynist. That's how Yahweh has it set up. And what I think most women fail to realize is the husband carries a lot of weight. For example, when we read in the book of Numbers about if I disannul my wife's vow, you know, most men don't read. Like there was a brother who was like, oh, I ain't read that part. Like, yeah, read that whole chapter. If my wife make a vow, if my daughter makes a vow and I hear it, I can say, no, we ain't gonna do that. I disannul that vow. Yahweh say she gonna be clean. And the wife that you disannul that vow, she gonna be clean, but the iniquity gonna be held on you. What Spider-Man say, his uncle say? With great power comes great responsibility. Being a husband is a great responsibility. But so is being a wife. Another thing too is that women naturally want to be subservient to a man.
It's all
Right.
Well, I'm gonna tell you why. The reason that a woman don't is because she ain't met that one that deserves that. That's what it is. That's what it is. But when you meet that man, that when he walk in the room, you know he a man, you will instantly become subservient. He ain't no jerk with it. He like, this is my queen. When you study history and you look at the queen sat next to the king, right? But the king was the one that, now she would suggest, she would say, honey, unless he gave her that power to just do whatever. But honey, I would want you to, or she even would call him probably still your highness or king such and such. Not hubby, sweetie. But let me say this. And you absolutely right, Brown. Men ain't men anymore.
Say that again, Brian.
Men are not men anymore. Most men, we're not men anymore. We've lost that track. But you know what I'm going to say? I'm going to say it's partially the woman's fault. Yep. I'm going to tell you why it's the woman's fault. I'm going to tell you why. Go ahead, Sister Marie.
And Brown,
And then I'm going to let...
love you, Brown, 100% accurate. Marie, Michael, and you're right. It's because you got these women that will take these sorry men and move a man and take care of these men, and they think that every woman is going to take care of them. That's why they're not going to bother and get no job and very responsible. No, and you're right. It's partly of the women's fault. But they cater to these men that they know ain't no good, that's not going to do nothing, so they going to be the fool. And, you know, that's, like you said, if one of them, it do fall on the women.
And you know what's deep is, and Sister Lioness said, you know, when you are in your father's house, his decisions guide. But the husband is by law absolute ruler in the house. He is. I know that some women may have a problem with that, but you have a problem with that because you haven't come across anyone that you can trust to rule. And then that falls in our lap. You understand? But when it comes to what I mean by it's the woman's fault, and as my sister Maria said it perfectly, y'all allow that. Y'all allow that. I don't care, and I'm gonna say this: I don't care how much a woman shake her head and be like, "I don't allow nothing." I know that women do, because if a woman makes a statement saying, "Well, what if you have to? What if you got to? What if you don't have a choice?" You have a choice. We all have choices. But when it comes to the woman, look at how most women, not all women, raise their boys. A lot of women don't raise their boys to be men because you can't. That's just like I'm gonna tell you something. Stop telling. Look, I love my mama too, but stop telling your mama Happy Father's Day. Your mama is a mother. She is not the father. Now let me say this too. Just because a woman is working and paying bills, that still don't make you a man. That makes you an adult. That makes you responsible. That don't make you a man. And brothers be like, you know what, man? The only father I had was my mother. No, man. I ain't the only father. She ain't bring you here by herself. She ain't asexual. There was a seed planted by your father in her womb and caused you to come, and then you were blessed to come forth. So when women be like, I had to be the man. No, you can't be the man. Just because you work don't make you a man. It just makes you responsible. Because if you didn't work, you don't eat. Right? You gotta eat. Right? You need a place to live. Well, I'm doing things the father should do. No, you're doing things that the parent should do. Yes, you had them. It's not fair that the man's not there. I'm not making an excuse for a deadbeat man. But what I am setting is reality. And you tell your son, like, I'm not your father. I am not a man. I cannot teach you how to be a man. All I can do is teach you what I feel that the attributes of a man should be. Because we teaching our boys, you do everything for the woman. You got to do this. And wait a minute. So, boy, we growing up as men like that. What they got to do? Well, what they got to do? Well, you got to do everything for the woman. You got to do everything. You got to do everything for her. Well, what she got to do? But you the man. I know, but what she got to do? You the man. See, you already showing me that you don't know what it is to be a man. No, son. Now, this is where a man come in, son. When you get you a woman, y'all build together. Y'all grow together. But you the head. And if you get you a woman who willing to put the Most High first and then you, and then herself, then you got a winner. But if you got a woman that's willing to put her, that's not willing to put even the Almighty first, you need to walk away from her. I don't care how beautiful she is or how well she make greens. You understand? Most women are not necessarily able to raise their boys to be men. They're not. That's just like, how would it look if my daughter, and praise you, I don't even want to use my family, but how would it look if a daughter went up to her father and said Happy Mother's Day and Father's Day? As a man, you'd be like, baby, I ain't nobody's mama. I'm your daddy. I'm your father. And I know we like to use the term, well, he's a daddy. That's a father, but it takes this man to be a daddy. They both the same. It's just logistics, or whatever you call it, semantics. It's just semantics. They're both the same. They're both the same because you got to be a man to be both of them. So what I want is for our women to stop thinking that because you might be working 2 jobs, you doing these things, but that's not attributed to being a man. It's just attributed to being an adult, to being someone with responsibilities. Yes, ma'am.
No, I was going to say, I agree with you that women are part of the problem. But the other part of the problem is the fact that we have a lot of fatherless homes. And the men are not in the homes to teach their sons how to be men.
Mm-hmm.
Whether they're not in the homes because, I don't know, they're incarcerated, they're deceased, or they just
Or the
left.
baby mama kicked them out, or the baby mama don't
she had a
want to
reason to
do.
kick them out. No, well, let me finish. Whether they're not in the home because, like you said, or they just left and went to the next wife or baby mama, whatever they did.
Mm-hmm.
They're not there.
Right.
They're not there
Right.
to teach these men or these boys how to be men.
Mm-hmm.
And so, speaking for single mothers, doing the best that they can,
Mhm.
no, I cannot teach my son how to be a man.
Right.
I have to do the best that I can to teach him something because his father is not present. And, I explained to you why that is, but he has uncles, he has older brothers, but they have family, they have lives, they can't, be there for him like he needs it.
Mhm.
So everything falls on me, not because I want it to be that way. That's just the way it is.
Right.
Now, yes, there are women out here that enable these guys. They do. They take care of them. They treat them like they the mom. And their husbands or their boyfriends or the sons. Yes, there are women like that. But I feel like it starts in the home. These males, they need their fathers.
Mm-hmm.
But
I agree.
like
I
I
agree.
shared with you, with the short amount of time that my son's father was around,
Mm-hmm.
he did a complete 360.
Right.
Because before, he was getting in trouble in school. He was getting suspended.
Mm-hmm.
His father stepped in. I saw a complete change in him.
I
Because
agree.
before I thought, oh my God. I mean, forgive me. I'm kind of stuck on that. But, I just thought, I didn't know what to do with him. He was just constantly getting in trouble and getting suspended.
Yeah.
But yeah, he did. When his father stepped in, his grades improved, his behaviors improved.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't getting called to come and get him. And, I mean, he has changed. But now that, his father can't be there because of, his illness,
Yeah.
I gotta do the best that I can.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to, these other guys out here, to try to like mooch off of us, live off, I don't tolerate that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, have I played a fool before when I was younger? Yes, I have.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not going to tolerate that. And that's why I choose to be by myself.
Mm-hmm.
And if that's the way the Almighty intended for me to be by myself, then that's just how it's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I'm not going to enable no guy.
I think that one of the biggest things that definitely need to be brought out in these conversations is the fact that when women address the fact of deadbeat men, all y'all address, and I say y'all, the ones that it fit, they put it on, is the ones that when they address men They say the ones that's either in jail or they off with somebody else. They don't address the fact that, yes, we got men out here that have mental illness, that are sick, that if they were in their right mind would be there. Or men who are dead because of whatever is going on. We don't address the fact that there are good men out here and good fathers who are trying, but we got deadbeat mamas. We don't want to address that. We don't address the fact that we got deadbeat mamas. There was a thing on TikTok, I think you showed me, sweetie, that the man had brought his son some McDonald's. She come outside mad, like, why you ain't bring for everybody? He was like, God, they ain't mine. Their daddies are still alive. Me and her brother had a debate on that. He was like, man, he should have brought something for them. No, his daddies are still alive. So instead of her taking the meal in and being like, okay, can I split it with them? No, she was like, give it to me and threw it on the ground. Nobody get it. What kind of image did you just say to this boy? How about we discuss them women? But we don't cover them women. All we want to talk about is the ones that's downtrodden. You know, I had to do it by myself, and I ain't had this, and I ain't had nobody. Well, that's for that, even though that's there. But what about the ones who put themselves in that position? Who got men who want to be there, but use their children as bargaining tools? Well, if you want to come see your child, guess what? I need more money. Well, baby, you know, I mean, LaQuisha, I only work 3 days this week. You a deadbeat. You ain't nothing. And then they feed this to the child. Now, this ain't an attack on no woman, an attack on anyone. Here's the thing. I'm just bringing forth I just would like to bring forth some realization that the problem in the home, it ain't one and it's not the other. It's all of us. Men have lost the sense of masculinity. You know why are we doing that? Because we want to talk about there are no masculine men. But y'all, but the woman, and I'm being facetious when I say y'all. I'm being a little funny just to be funny. But most women, what do you want? That's what I'm asking. What do you want? You want us to be, you know, most men aren't masculine because the woman always wants us to tap into our feminine side. You need to tap into your feminine side, Tyrone. I want you to laugh with me sometimes and touch me sometimes. I want you to be soft with me. Well, I can't tap into my feminine side because if I tap into my feminine side, I'm becoming a woman. Just like I can't have you tap into the masculine side. So then I'll be with another man. How about this? How about I take and give you the softer side of my masculinity so that it matches your femininity? Because there are two sides to masculinity and femininity. I can be softer with you and still be a man. How about you take the more rugged side of your femininity and match it up with my masculinity in times that I need it? Like we getting jumped and I need you to jump in. You go, hell, right. You see me getting whooped and dragged up this street. You understand what I'm saying? No, I'm kidding. But seriously, how about we do that? Instead of telling these young boys or these men to step into their feminine side, we tell them, hey, why don't you tap into that softer masculine side that you have? Instead of telling our women, hey, I need you to tap into some of that testosterone. I need you to get, no. I know I need you to stay in your femininity. But that's what attracts me to you. I'm not attracted to someone who have breasts but act like me. I'm not attracted to that. That ain't sexy to me. You walking around like this. No, I want you to be feminine. I want you to smell sweet. You're a woman. I want you to, but in order for you to live in your femininity, that means I have to exert my masculinity and live within my masculine means. And when I say masculine, I'm not talking about the toxic masculinity. I'm talking about the one where we meshing, where my softer side of masculinity is caressing your femininity. You understand? That's what we need to kind of work on. Don't ever tell, don't you ever tell your son, if you ever have a son, or if you you need to tap into your feminine side. No, tap into your more softer masculine side. And you can only learn that from a man who's tapped into both sides of masculinity. There's nothing wrong with being masculine as a man. Just like there's nothing wrong with being feminine. Live in your femininity. That's how you were created. Live in your masculinity. That's why we got boys walking around here switching harder than y'all. Because we want to dress our little boys up in dresses. And, you know, there was this one meme where this girl dressed her son up like her. Putting lipstick on him. He like playing in mommy's shoes. No, that's a problem. Get out of mommy's shoes. Get in your own shoes. You understand? Yes, ma'am. Did you have your hand?
I was gonna say, about there was a lot. Anyways, so
See how women
when
are.
we
They
don't,
just can't go into the comment. They got.
I'm sorry, I have pregnancy brain. Trying to like put it all together, but I was gonna say, like, us females
Mhm.
that don't accept like the male's behavior
Yes.
and then kick them out
Mm-hmm.
in a sense.
Mhm.
I don't feel like it's always like the female's fault that the father's not in the child's life. And I say this because if the male wanted to be part of their life or wanted to put the effort to show their child, not the female, the child themselves,
Right.
that they wanted to be part of it, they would go down to the courthouse, do child support, get visitation rights, get all of that paperwork involved. So the female can't just be like, oh no, you didn't give me so and so money for whatever. It's documented. They take out so much from your paycheck for
Right.
child support.
Right.
You don't bring my child to come see me, the time, the day that they're supposed to be dropped off, you can report them as missing, as a like kidnapping, because like it's paperwork that gets done that gives you the right to be able to see their kid. Like
Very good.
my daughter's dad,
Mhm.
I told him, like, you're not showing me any effort that you even want to be a father. So when you do, like, we can talk about you being a father to her. Like, he knows that. I've told him, like, what I expect him to do. He knows what he can do. Like, and what does he do? Nothing. But that's on him.
That's
Like,
true. He missing out.
if the guys wanted to be there, they would. Because I have a guy friend that his baby mama was gonna move across the country. And what did he do? Go put himself on child support. Guess what she did? Can't move from the country, like the state now, because they have visitation rights and all of that. Like, if you want something done, it's like your actions might have not been perfect in the relationship that was with that parent,
Yes.
but you can make the relationship with your child good.
I
It's
agree.
the effort
agree.
that you put in.
I agree. And I will tell you this, though. I will say this. The reason that is because I'm going to tell you something that I noticed with when women and men had these conversations. You women, it's uncomfortable to think that there are actually women out there that are horrible. That's why it's so easy for y'all to flip it right back on the man. Why we got to go through all that hard work? Why we got to do that? Just to do what's right. See, that's the thing that we all need to realize. When there's someone that says, well, look at what the woman does. What do you have a woman say? Well, look at what the man does. And look at everything he's done. Look what he ain't doing. Let me explain something too as well. There was a man that was there for his child, paid child support, got arrested. You know why he got arrested? Because he paid too much child support. So you want me to go run to a system that's already not even going to give you anything worth but what my child is. Like, for example, if you're working, you only get a portion of what they take from me. And then don't be on assistance. The only reason you getting anything is because and then they take a portion of what I'm getting. Like say for example, let's say you got a child and they taking $200 out your check a month. Well, you ain't seeing that 200. Maybe if you working, you'll see it. But if you're on the system, you're only getting a portion of that 200. And it's not enough to survive for a child. So it's already a corrupt system. So, and I agree. But then too, most men feel like, why I gotta work this hard and I wanna be there. All you gotta do is quit tripping. See, most women don't want to take that into consideration. All they want to do is turn it back on the man and say, well, the man can do more. Why I gotta do more? Especially if I want to be there. How about I put my focus on if I'm a sister and be like, sister, you wrong. You got a man that want to be there for your child, for y'all child, and you doing him like this? You wrong. That's what we need more of in society, is where y'all hold each other accountable. And we hold each other accountable. And I think that that's the thing that's destroying our community. Because sometimes when it comes to we fault the brothers after the baby is born. But where was the accountability when you opened your legs? Unless you were forced. And that's something different. But if you willingly, if this man didn't have a job when you met him, if he was out here in the streets when you met him, if you even heard, because let's think about it. Don't most of us have a God-saving complex? Oh, he ain't gonna do that with me because I'm gonna whip it on him. I'm gonna put it on him. He gonna be there for this baby. He got 5 other children that you know of across town. What make you think he gonna take care of yours? What make you think that? Because it's you? Because I'm special? I do affirmations with Brother Michael. I'm special. I watch him online. I'm special. I graduated from college and I work a job. I have a nice job, and my dad works and he's not gonna do that to me. No, he's not. He's not. Most of us, most of the time, and I'm not, and this is, I'm not attacking women, but it's a realization because it's on both sides. But most of the time, a woman would give it up before you learn his name. And then a woman would go, well, you can't get pregnant the first time. You can't get pregnant the first time. And then the first time you're pregnant, you met him in a club. You met him on the street doing nothing. Or you met him working at a job, but all he did was complain about the job and talk about quitting the job. So you thinking like, if he get me pregnant, guess what? That's all gonna change. He gonna move up to management. No, he gets you pregnant and he just going to exhibit what he already showed in the beginning. And then let's get on the brothers for a minute. The brothers want to get with these sisters, and y'all lay with these women, not wanting to make them wives, and then you sisters not wanting to wait to be a wife. Because you little kitty cat purring. So you can't wait for the ring, so you like, give it to me now. You're handsome, you sexy, you fine. I remember one time Moray Yoel taught a lesson, and it was so profound. He said, man, good looks don't pay bills, but that's exactly what y'all look for. Most women look for. You don't look for a man that's stable. Why? Because most stable men aren't handsome enough for you. I'm just being real. The men that's stable, they don't, a lot of women want them because they're not handsome. Some of them got a pot gun. Some of them might walk with a limp. You understand? Some of them might be missing a tooth. You know what I'm saying? But they good men. But you overlook the good ones to get with the one that you focused on is being sexy, being fine, handsome. And you give him the goodies, and then he leave you there with the cookie bag. And now you salty, and now all men are dogs. Take accountability, women. And then brothers, y'all get with these sisters. Y'all do the same thing. We do the same thing, don't we? When you don't go out and you single and be like, ooh, I'm gonna find me a woman with a mind. You don't go to the club and be like, man, that mind on her is deep. I want that. Oh, she read books. You ain't thinking about no books. You thinking about that thing. And you sweet and kind, and then when you get that thing, you become a whole nother animal. And don't let that thing get you caught up to where she pregnant. Because your pull-out game wasn't strong. So now she pregnant. Now she wants you to be responsible. And you like, it ain't mine. And you go, and then she go, but you the only man I've been with. Shh, I doubt that. That ain't my baby. And the one that's left suffering is the child. Because the mama feel in her feelings about you, you and your feelings about her, and no one is taking accountability. And the child is left there to basically fend for itself. So we're going to get on the role of a woman and the role of a man. Because that's something that's very important. And I got some comments here too. Let's see. Brother Bram said, a few brothers need to pay him a visit. There you go. I wish. You know what? I think that would be so dope. Well, we could get together as brothers and sisters come with their problems. And they be like, you know, I got this man in my life. He got me pregnant. You know what I'm saying? And we was all good, but he don't want to take care of nothing. we got married. He don't want to take care of nothing. And we just go visit the brother. We go talk to him. Take him to the woods. You know, put him in the back of the pickup truck. You know, put some tape around his hands. Be like, don't worry, brother. You remember what Abraham told told Isaac, man, just chill out. It's cool, bro. Just sit out. And we have a good conversation with the brother. And be like, man, you bringing up a child into this community of the Almighty. Because in Israel, you can say, you believe it or not, there's brothers out here just laying with sisters, getting them pregnant and treating them like crap. But even though we all need to take accountability, it's still not right to treat each other wrong, especially when it comes to a child. But that's where it goes to say, where we hold each other accountable as men, and then you sisters hold each other accountable. You see a sister doing something out of order. Wait a minute, hold on. Is that according to the law? Yeah. That's not right, sister. Don't you act like that toward that man. Shoot, I told him he want me to cook. He better take out the garbage. Well, hold on, baby. That ain't up to you to make that decision. If he don't take out the trash, you still do what you need to do as a wife. You don't set your duties to the side because he didn't do something you wanted him to do. You get your butt in there and you still do your wifely duties. Because what if you do something wrong? You want him to quit his job and stop paying bills? Because he can be like, well, shoot, you quit cooking for me. Hell, I'll take my money somewhere else. See what happens when nobody takes accountability? It's a whole bunch of confusion and uneven balance. And in the middle is the child or children. And they watching this. They seeing how the father's being disrespectful and how the mother's being disrespectful. They seeing how, dang, who loved me? Who loves me? Mama say she loved me, but I want daddy. Daddy say he love me, but he don't want to be with me. See what I'm saying? This is the unbalanced society that we live in. And I'm going to come to y'all. I got a few comments here. Sister Nadib says, she says, if you're using government assistance, some programs have a requirement to follow up with child support authority. She's absolutely right. Sister Nadib is right. If you say you get food stamps, they force you to basically file child support on that man. Like they force you to do that, to even be set up for substance. Now I don't know if it happened to everybody, but I know a sister that it happened to. And she had to go down and bring him down. She didn't, you know what I'm saying? I don't, but well, I ain't gonna say she didn't want to, but yeah, when she was getting assistance, they make you do it. Yep. So Sister Nadib is right. And she also said, yeah, but she also said a lot of women don't even want to go through this. But it's a snare because you need the extra help. You're absolutely right, sis. A lot of women don't want to go through, because I'm gonna tell you, we as men sitting on the other side of child support be thinking like, man, y'all females be loving that. No, it's work for y'all too. Y'all gotta go through this and go through that, and then you ain't getting the money, because what child support doing, especially if you on the system, the child support, they taking a portion out to pay back what they giving you. Now, if you work and you get child support, then you get the whole thing. It's only if you're working. But let's say you can't work and you got to get assistance. Well, you might have was getting that whole 200, but guess what you get now? 100, maybe 75. If that much, a month. Or no, I ain't gonna say a month. Well, yeah, a month if he's not making a lot of money to where they can take it from. And then you run into this, where a man will go get a job getting paid under the table so he don't have to pay child support because they don't have nothing to trace. As soon as a man applies for a job that puts him through the system, they snatch you up real quick. But if a man quits a job, then your money stops. Now that goes into arrearage for him, but most men don't care. They'll be like, I don't care. Because most men will work a job, and then what most men will do is they'll go get a part-time job. Child support will come hit that part-time job. And then they'll go get and have a full-time job. A full-time job they can't touch because they can only touch one job at a time. Not even unless, because there was a sister that went through that situation. She took her dude back to court. They was like they couldn't do nothing because at the one job he was making more money, but they was already taking it from another job. You see the things y'all women go through? And men, do y'all see the things that we have to go through when we ain't there for our women and for our babies? Let me read these comments. Finish reading these comments. Oh, praise Yahweh. So, yes, sister. And then I think you, and then you, right? Did you? Oh, Sister Andrew. Yes, ma'am. Okay. Well, let me say this. We're going to dig and go into the role of a woman. And no, a woman should not be held accountable, especially if her husband. Now, if you single and you living in the house, I mean, you the only one in the house. But if you got a man if you have a husband, I ain't talking about no boyfriend. See, that's another problem. When we want to play house. We as men, let me tell y'all something. And let me tell y'all men might get salty at me, but oh well. These women aren't obligated to treat you like a husband if you ain't giving them the husband the last name. They're not, I don't know why y'all women do that. But that be on y'all. Y'all be wanting to cook for these men and do all this stuff for these men and ain't even willing to give you their last name. And then women, you don't want to be married? Okay. You don't want to be married? Then don't expect these men to do nothing. Don't be like, I got a cell phone bill paid. Well, what would you do if I wasn't here? You ain't my wife. We're dating. Well, who gonna help me pay this rent? I don't know. I'm not your husband. At this point, we just roommates. We just roommates that smash every once in a while. You understand what I'm saying? Don't expect that wifely duty. What's up, Victor? Don't expect that wifely duty if you ain't giving her your last name. And then don't expect that husbandly duty if he's not your husband. Don't let Beyonce and what was the song? What was the group that was with? What were they called? Destiny Child. Don't let them get you in trouble. You can't pay my bill, can't pay my telephone bill, will pay my audible bill. Why I gotta pay that? You ain't my wife.
Paying your car bill for you?
There's guys out there that do that. Now I'm not saying that you gotta be mean to each other and not help each other. You help each other out. If you help, but don't make it an obligation. You understand? Don't go to your woman and be like, you should do this for me. Why? That's what a wife would do. But then, sisters, also keep your legs closed, because that's for your husband. Oh, boy. Got a lot of men pissed at me right now. Like, this brother here, that I knew that Ian wasn't no, you don't know what I'm talking about. Get there, make me some sandwiches. No, Eddie, I want to have. I want to have Eddie. You understand? So, but I'm not saying this to be facetious. I'm saying this because I would like to see more marriages, more successful marriages. But in order to be successful, things have got to be done right. Now, if you are a man, and there's a lot of couples out here that they've been together, they did the do, and now they pregnant. Well, guess what, sir? You a father. You got to step up. Now, if when y'all was just dating and just kicking it, then you could throw that out there like, well, I ain't your man. Well, no, she pregnant now. Now you got to do the job because now you got a seed you're bringing forth. But what I will say is, if a woman isn't worth being your wife, then don't give her your seed. If she ain't worth being your wife, don't give her your seed. If you dating her and she got things and you like, oh, I don't think I want to be with her forever. Because you do know that once you get a woman pregnant, you kind of in her life forever while the child is alive. So you're there. So ain't no, you can just get her pregnant and dip. Because let me explain something to you too. And this is what I want our young boys to definitely know too. You get a girl pregnant and you under the age of 18, your parents are responsible for paying child support if her parents take you to child support until you turn 18. So while y'all going around skiing everywhere, y'all need to know that. Like, hold on now. And you as a parent, you pull them to the side like, wait a minute now. Hold on, wait a minute. Hold on, what is you and this little girl doing? Oh, Mom, we just gonna be in my room watching TV. Well, I'm taking the door off the hinges. This is my house. Boom! And I'm gonna have your little brother sit up at the top of the stairs with a video game in the room with you. We all going to watch a movie together. Y'all all are. You understand? Because I'm telling you, once you allow your child to just be free out there, when they get pregnant, if the parents want to, they can take you to court and deduct the money from your paycheck until that boy turns 18.
Hear that?
Hear that?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Do parents have to pay child support?
If the parents of the daughter wants to take them to court, they have to when they get summons to court, they go to court. And then when it comes up like, okay, this boy is 18. So what we're going to do is, he's not 18 yet. So child support is going to be set up. It's going to come out of your paycheck, mama or daddy, whoever check is going to come out of. And guess what? If your parents be like, I ain't paying nothing, guess what stops? They can get their license revoked. You can, and you won't get your income tax at the end of the year. So if a man can run and do all he wants to and not pay child support. But what ends up happening is if your arrearage is high, and let's say you do find a job, not only are they gonna take the money from your job, but when you go to get your tax return, they taking it.
That also happens to deadbeat moms, because my mom's sister, she wasn't around her kids, and her baby's father was in the military and stuff, and she don't get any of her tax returns.
See,
She owes so much child support.
And that money goes to the child. That money goes to the child. It's good, but it's better to, if you're gonna pay it, you make sure you're on top of your payments so you can get your tax returns.
It's better to just be responsible, so you ain't got to worry about it to begin with.
Well, I mean, nothing gonna stop the woman from going down there and filing if she wants to. Even if you are a responsible, good dude, she can still be like, whatever. Whatever.
I feel like
That's
as long as the effort is put in, like for them being the father, like why is there a need to do all the extra stuff?
Can I be honest with you? Because there's some females out there that's greedy, super greedy. And I'll tell you this too. That's why I'm against the whole a woman has the right to decide if she gonna have a baby or not movement. I'm against that. Because if that's the case, do I have the right not to pay child support? Some people say, well, that's different. Not really.
You can give up your right, the sense if you don't want to pay child.
And that's the thing. Why I gotta do all that? See, all the stuff a man gotta go through to do that. And then that make you look even more like a deadbeat, don't it? Like you giving up on your child, like dang, you don't even want your child no more. What kind of man are you? You know what I'm saying?
And them, like stuff in the mail, diapers and stuff. Like if you got a crazy woman like that, like why are you even messing with someone like that in the first place?
Because
Crazy woman.
because we guide with one head and not the other, and that's what happens. As soon as that blood goes from one spot to the next, we lose total consciousness. Like,
oh, she's crazy.
what happens when you pass out? That means the blood ain't flowing right in your body, so it ain't coming to where it needs to. So you kind of black out. That's what happens to men. We black out intellectually. We black out with common sense. You know, there's so many signs right there. And I'm gonna tell you, there are signs. There are signs. If you meet a woman in the club and she dancing on tables and doing belly shots, she is not necessarily gonna make a good wife or a baby mama. I'm just saying. Any comments or questions? So I think that what needs to be done is we all take accountability. We treat each other right. You meet you a young lady, fellas, you treat them women with respect. You understand? You're dating someone. Here's my thing. You're too young to date. Have female friends. And I ain't talking about female friends that you have intimacy with. I'm talking about you kick it with. Y'all go to the show. Y'all have fun. Y'all do that. But if it's somebody that you want to be closer to, that's your one girl. You concentrate on that one woman. And you build a relationship with her. I think for real, I think the relationships, y'all too young to want to be with one woman and one man. You a young girl, get you male friends. I ain't talking about, like I said, I ain't talking about having no intimacy. That's out of here. But you got somebody you go kick it with, play video games with. Y'all you young. Go enjoy yourself with clean Oh. My wife. See, come here. I don't care. Come here.
Oh, you know I don't care.
My wife came here straight from the hospital. I think she walked with no shoes on.
I did.
But praise Yahweh. My wife is. I was waiting too. I kept doing this to look for your text. Praise Yahweh. So my wife is home. Praise Yahweh. I'm happy. So And Sister Maria said she missed you. Missed you. So,
It wasn't her.
She ain't had nobody to come at you.
nah, see what women do. It's like, nah. Yeah, Sister Angela, go ahead, sis.
I just wanted to
Sure.
a lot of stuff we've been talking about lately, about been there, I've been.
Right.
And one thing a lady told me years ago that unless you've been in a situation, you won't understand it.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I realize the mistakes I've made, and I'm paying for it. But
Right.
one of the things is with me, because I've never been single. I've been the mother and the father in my household.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't expect no Father's Day gifts or anything like that for my kids, but since I'm paying the cost to be the boss of my house,
Mhm.
if they were to come at me, say, hey, happy Father's Day, whatever, I feel like I've earned that respect because I am doing the mother. I'm playing the mother and the father role in my house.
So let me ask this question real
But-
quick. So
But also,
let me ask this question real quick, and I'll let you finish. Do you not think that the role of the mother is strong enough by itself?
no, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying because I'm having to play both roles. If they were to say Happy Father's Day to me, and no, I'm not trying to take that away from their fathers, but I feel like I've earned that because they were not doing their part.
So let me ask this. So you don't look at it like I'm just being a good parent, that I stepped in, because you'll never be a man and you'll never be a father. And you'll never be able to play the role of a father because you're not a man. And it's not an attack, it's just a realization. Because I can't tell my daughter I'm playing the role of the mother and father. No, I'm just being the father. That's who I am. And I understand your sentiment though. But however, the one thing that I definitely want to do is I wouldn't want to trivialize being a mother either. Because being a mother is not an easy task, especially when it comes to raising boys. So you don't have to gird yourself up like a man. You're already girded simply being a mother. So, and that's how you want to do it, that's fine. But for those women that are listening, I want to let you know, as you know, you'll never be a man. So you'll never play the role of a father. But what you're doing is I'm not, it's like I said, it's not an attack. But what I'm saying is I don't want women to trivialize just being a mother. Because I'm going to tell you something. Being a mother is just as powerful as being a father. Even though, let me say this, and that's not taking nothing away from the father, but I want you sisters to know how important you are to the universe, not just my life, but to the universe, because you form life. All I do is plant the seed. You actually carry the seed and develop it. So you being a mother, you don't need to play both roles when you already tight in one. You're already tight in one. You a mother. And that deserves all the respect. Because you women put up a lot. From history on, you women have had our backs. And it's been mothers. Because I'm going to tell you, the old school women, you won't necessarily hear them say that I'm a man and a woman. I'm a father and a mother. They be like, no, I'm grandma. I'm big mama. I'm mama. That's what it is, and that's who I am. Now, I ain't your daddy, I'm your mama. And remember that. But because the role of the mother is so important. It's so important. And what I'm doing now is not going really debating. It's just more so I see the importance of a mother. Mine is gone. Me and my brother's mother is gone. And I see what she did with us. Raising two boys, not a boy and a girl. She raised two boys by herself. And my daddy was alive. My brother's father is still alive, but mine, which I look at him as dad too. But my biological father is gone. My mother is gone. And I realized that in order to have a functioning household, you need the balance of both. And I want you women to know that you women are strong enough being mothers. You don't need the title of being a father because, number one, like I said, you'll never be a man, you'll never be a father. But I want you to live. I want you to live and I want you to grow in the greatness which is you as a mother. That's all. I'm just throwing a compliment that way. That's all. Nothing negative. Yes, ma'am. Then I'll come back to you, my sister.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah, because, I agree because on Father's Day, I had to stop my cousins from texting me Happy Father's Day. I let them know I am not a man. I don't look like a man. I'm a female. Don't wish me Happy Father's Day. And from then on, they don't because, on Mother's Day, they always, we text each other, But then on Father's Day, no. Text that to your father or your uncle. I'm a woman. Don't be disrespecting me because I'm not no man. And they don't do it no more. I will not let them be texting me no Happy Father's Day because I'm a woman.
Because y'all women are so strong. I look at the pains that y'all endure as women. I could imagine. So can't. And I don't know why men want to try to simulate that. I don't want to simulate. I've seen it.
Right.
What hole is this baby coming from? Yeah, exactly. I'm good. I am good. I see. And then not only women don't get pregnant every month, but y'all come on every month. And then the pain, the cramps. I see my little girl, my wife, when she, man, y'all women go through that, man. Not a man. Not most men. Most men be like, man, I could take it. I'm one to tell you I couldn't. And then you get up and you see flow and you like, women just be like, oh, I'm on. A man would be like, I'm bleeding. That's what men would do. So you women, I'm not trivializing periods and pregnancy. What I'm trying to show is that you sisters, y'all created y'all in such a unique way that though y'all came from us, y'all are so unique and beautiful all by yourself. And I think that when you try to add on something else, or if you allow something else to be added on, what that does is that digs into your psyche to the point where you'll start thinking like, yeah, I'm a man and woman. Not saying that that's what most people would go into thinking, but it could give you that complex. I'm working 2 jobs. I'm doing what the husband should do. No, you're doing what a strong black woman is doing. A strong black mother. That's what you're doing. And you don't need a man for that. You understand? I just want you sisters to live in the beauty that's you. That's all. And I hope nobody took offense. But I want y'all to see how wonderful you are. Because I can see it. But if you don't see it, then what I think matters absolutely nothing. And fellas, start respecting these ladies. Start respecting these girls out here. You got your friends out here calling them B's. You don't call them B. If she get off on being a B, then she don't need to be in your life. Nah, you tell them like I show you respect. Respect, that's lame. All right. Because I'm going to tell you, it's more young girls out here. The only reason they don't take respect is because they ain't used to respect. Hold the door for a lady. You know what I'm saying? When class gets out and it's dark enough outside, y'all fellas take out this trash. Don't even let the women touch the garbage can. And that's not being misogynistic. That's just getting y'all set up for being. And I'm not saying that I'm not putting y'all down, but I want y'all to live in y'all strong masculinity too. Because we some strong brothers. You understand? You let your woman walk behind you. It's not to have your woman walk behind you as a subservient. No, you letting the world know you F with her, you effing with me. You got to get through me first before you touch her. She needs to know that. You understand? You don't walk behind her, she walks behind you. And I'm saying, it ain't no no male chauvinist stuff. No, it's to let you know as a woman, I'm here to protect you. When the world throw rocks, they gotta hit me first. That's what a man does. That want to be the woman. He's like,
Get behind you.
I'll get behind you, baby. The only time I need to be behind you is if I'm showing that soft masculine side and I put my arms around you to secure you, to let you know that I'm here. That I'm here. Like I said, man, don't let nobody tell you you got to go into your feminine side, because then they try to turn you into a woman. Don't let no man tell y'all, I need you to be a little bit more. No, I don't want you to be masculine. I might as well be gay. You understand? I don't want no hard woman. But in return, you got, stop. But in return, see, we a team together. But yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So I'm not saying it to put you down. I'm wanting to lift you up because you deserve it. Yes, ma'am.
I see a lot of young girls walking home from school,
Mm-hmm.
and the young men don't realize that they should be on the outside,
That's
not
right.
the girl on the outside. They
That's
should be. They didn't know that, but that's
Mm-hmm.
the way it should be. And another thing, this is me, okay? I don't know about other women, but when I'm looking for a man, when I'm saying a man, I'm gonna look for a strong man, number one, fairly handsome, okay? Somebody that's my equal. When I'm saying my equal, I don't want to look for somebody that's drinking, is an alcoholic, don't want nothing. I'm somewhere, I want something out of life. We gotta have life ideas about what we want in life. They don't want to do this or they don't want to do that. You gotta find people that are men that want to do the things that you like to do, like things. If they don't, I gotta be that person for you.
I agree. Now, Victor had a question too, and I passed it up. I want to see if I can find that question, Victor, because you did ask a question, brother, and I want to make sure that I'm answering it. Because I've been having some difficulties over here. Let me see. Here it is. Oh, he said shalom. Hey, Victor, type in your question again. You had a comment or question, Victor, and I think I lost it. Just type it in again. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go into some of the roles. So now let's go into some scripture. I've given my commentary, so now let's go into some scripture because we got some other things to cover. So turn with me to the book. This is the role of the woman. Turn with me to the book of Genesis chapter 3. Because my daughter had a question too, and I want to make sure that I get to her question. In Genesis chapter 3, my dear love, will you read verse 16, please?
And to the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee.
Now, desire. That is simply meaning intimate desire. You can't have, and when you get married, your husband, he is the only man you can desire. Even with his farts, his underarm hair, his funky smell, him leaving a ring in the tub every time he take a shower, you gotta love all that, and that's the only man you can desire.
Why you doing that?
You understand? Stank breath, you gotta love his stank breath. Every time he kiss you, he leave a residue on your chin. You gotta, you gotta love that. You understand? All right, now let's turn to Genesis chapter 2. My dear love, in Genesis chapter 2, do you mind reading verse number 18?
And Yah Elohim said, it is not good that the man should be alone. I will make him and help me for him.
That's exactly what you are, ladies. You are our helpmeet. You're not seconding. You're not the one that is the head of the household. Any man that's allowing you to be head of the household, he's not living up to his responsibilities. The man is the head of the household. To be the head of the household, that means you run your household with mercy. You run it with compassion. You run it with strength. And first of all, you run it with YAH. If you with a man and he weak and you get pregnant by him, then that's your fault. Because you saw weakness in him and still let him play in your mulberry bush and brought forth the seed. It's your fault. Don't blame men because you got one that wasn't no good. All right. Now let's go to the book of Judges, chapter 4. And I understand that a lot of people may not agree with me, and that's okay to a certain extent, just as long as we're respectful to each other. But I don't want to sell you no wolf tickets and talk about how, the man's supposed to do everything. A man can't do everything. He can only do what he can do. That's why the Almighty gave us a helpmeet. If the man could do everything, then maybe the Almighty wouldn't have gave us a helpmeet. We can't get pregnant. Do you know that a nation is formed through your womb? If a man takes and he spills his seed on the ground, what does that seed produce? No, it don't produce no flowers. Better not. Something wrong with it. Nothing. All you did was just have your seed spill on the ground. But what happens when that seed interacts with the feminine ground? It fertilizes it and it brings forth something beautiful, like Takari, like these young men here, like myself. That's what it brings forth. Turn with me to the book of, now, let me show y'all something. Let me show y'all this real quick. Turn with me to the book of Ephesians. That's in the New Testament.
Judges 4.
Did you didn't read Judges?
Oh, I didn't read Judges 4? I am so sorry, y'all. Please forgive me. Judges, I know, right? I am. I'm in the swing of things. All right. Judges, and I was there too, like, okay, that was deep. Like, you ain't read nothing, brother. Judges chapter 4. My dear, will you read verse 4, please? Thank you.
Verse 4.
Mm-hmm.
And Deborah, a prophetess, the wife of Lapidot, she judged Israel at that time.
Why did I read that verse? I read it for you sisters and for us brothers too, to realize that in Israel, a woman can be great. This woman is a prophet. She was a prophetess. She's a judge. Men wouldn't go to war without her. I'm talking about warriors. Could you imagine 1,000 elder Ezekiels? And one of them come up to her and be like, look, I know I can go to battle, but we want you there. And she was like, but if I go, you ain't gonna get no glory. The man was like, I don't care. We want you there. You understand? So don't let no man, I don't care if he called himself Ukabab Israel or Jeremiah Israel, don't let no man make you feel inferior. The Almighty made you great. He made you perfect. And there's nothing wrong with knowing your place. We have to know our place. There's nothing wrong with a woman staying in her lane. The problem in a lot of marriages is when the woman start wanting to grow testicles too. And then that's where the problem lies. That's where the issue comes up. Nah, baby, you got more power being in your femininity than you do trying to be in my masculinity. All right, praise Yahweh. Now let me show you in the book. Now, let's go to the book of Ephesians, which is in the New Testament. The book of Ephesians is behind Galatians. So So turn to the book of Galatians, which I think is after the book of Corinthians, maybe? Yeah, 2 Corinthians. So turn to the book of Ephesians. Ephesians, I think, is a small book. Yeah. Turn to Ephesians chapter 5. Now, y'all thought the Old Testament was male chauvinist. Let's check this out. My dear love, will you read verses 22 to 24 in Ephesians chapter?
So chapter 5,
Ephesians chapter 5.
verse 24.
Yeah, start at verse 22.
Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands as unto YAH.
Now pause. Now how you feeling? How you women feel about that?
Got plural husbands.
I get it. That's dope. I bet you a lot. Excuse me. A lot of people probably look over that. But this is saying that you should be subservient to your husband like you would the Most High. Is that even possible? You can't be more subservient to your husband than you are to him. He come first. Y'all come first. Continue reading.
For the husband is the head of the wife, even as Christ is the head of the church, and he is the savior of the body.
So, in other words, what this is saying is you should want to, when you get married, your husband is your God. That's what they're saying. I believe. But you got black people, you know, us too, that do that too. The wives treat their husbands like God, especially in Christian faith. Continue reading, my love.
Therefore, as the church is subject unto Christ, so let the wives be to their own husbands in everything.
Now, read the next verse.
Husbands, love your wives,
Gosh.
even as Christ also loved the church and gave himself for it.
Now, he says here for the husbands, just love your wives like you do Christ. But, oh, I'm good, baby. I got water. Thank you, love. But he's telling you to look at us like we're Christ. Oh, he's saying to the husbands, love your wife like you do Christ. So in other words, what I'm trying to show is women hold a very important role. The role of the woman is to be helpmeet. It is not your role to be the head of the household. Okay. Yes, ma'am.
I think that that is true when you have a healthy balance. I was listening to you say men go into your feminine side or women go into your masculine side. I don't think that it necessarily has to be defined as that. I think that women should have a certain amount of assertiveness and men should have a certain amount of vulnerability. We have to keep an equal balance to ourselves in order to get along in our everyday lives, because we're not going to encounter the same things or the same people. Because if you have a man that's headstrong, he's not going to lead the way the Almighty needs him to if he doesn't operate in his laws and his mercy. And if you have a woman that is kind of just docile, she's never going to be able to serve her husband as a helpmeet. She'll never be a Deborah if she can't have the assertiveness to take over when he's needing the help. Or not take over, so to speak, but to meet him. So I think there has to be an equal balance in just everything. If it's not, it's gonna go down, too much of a good thing or too much of a bad thing is never gonna hold its weight.
What I need y'all to do for homework is look up what femininity is. Because femininity doesn't mean docile, not one bit. Neither does masculinity mean headstrong. Look up what those words mean. That's your homework for this week. Because if a man, the reason the world is the way it is because the men don't live in their masculinity. Women at the world is now is because women don't live in their femininity. Being feminine don't mean you're weak. I don't know where y'all get that mess from. Yes, I do. Called society. They teach that if you're too feminine, you just weak. Because think about it. When a boy is doing things that's considered soft, what do you say about him? Look at him over there being feminine. And when you over here doing stuff, being headstrong and fixing cars and stuff like that, like, ain't nothing wrong with a woman fixing cars. I really don't mind. But you'll be like, look at this over here trying to be a man. That's because we have an unhealthy understanding on what femininity and masculinity is. Because we spend more time trying to even out things instead of living in where Yahweh made us to be. That's where the problem lies. Some things you can't balance out. I need you to be in your feminine state just like you definitely need me in my masculine state. I remember Minister Elder Yimmy Wells said, talked about movement, and he's absolutely right. You got to have a negative and a positive pull in order to move. You need a negative and a positive. Sometimes you need that. And I'm not talking about negative like mean and nasty. I'm using that in the sense of what physics, science, yeah. You know what I'm saying? You need opposites to pull. I need to be masculine. I don't need to be even with my woman. And my woman need to be feminine. She don't need to be even with me. That's not how the Almighty wants me to be. He wants us to be even in the sense of, oh, let's look at that. Let's study that. I ain't gonna shoot it out. Let's study it. Does the Almighty want us to be even in balance when it comes to our relationships?
But with ourselves, if you have too much ego and no humility, I don't think you would be an effective leader.
Now, I do agree with that. I do agree with that. But my point was dealing with masculine and feminine traits, or masculinity and femininity. And then, too, dealing with ego. Women have egos. So I think that what we're saying is sort of the same thing, but in a sense, I really want men to focus on their masculinity and women femininity. You need that. What happens when you take two hard services and bang them together? It take a while for them to break and to even come together. In martial art, my elder taught us hard against soft, soft against hard. If I take my hand and punch a brick wall, I could break my fist because that's hard on hard. Can I put a fire out with fire? Can you stop water with water? You need something that's going to be the opposite. And I think that we struggle being the opposite because we haven't learned ourselves. That's why I did that little exercise earlier saying, give me one positive thing about you, and you shared it. Give me one positive thing about yourself. Because then you start to learn yourself. But let me tell you this, before you get into a relationship with anybody, learn you. Get you right. Figure you out. Then that way you won't have to depend on nobody else to give you happiness when you're your own. Here's the thing. My wife, I love her. She can't make me happy. And I can't make her happy. All I can do is accentuate the happiness that she already has. And then vice versa. That's all that I can do. You can't please your fiance. Your fiance can't please you. So what ends up happening? All you can do is accentuate what she already deems as happiness. That's all you can do. I think we put too much power and pressure on each other when we say, well, you don't make me happy. It ain't my job to make you happy. I'm supposed to just accentuate your happiness. You're supposed to already be in your state of knowing who you are. Just like a woman, if a woman do something and she say, and a man say, you don't even make me feel like a man. Some of the most softest stuff that I think I've heard. You can't make me feel like a man because you ain't no man. Just like when women say, you don't make me feel like a woman. I can't. I can accentuate who you already are, but I can't make you who the Almighty created you to be because I don't know. I'm not a woman. Now I understand that I'm debunking some things that we've been told throughout society of how a man should be and how a woman should be. But I'm here to and I ain't even really say I'm gonna take away debunking because that's what I'm prideful. I'm not debunking nothing. I'm just sharing the flip side of things. That's all that I'm doing. Is sharing the flip side. So let's go to the role of the man. Turn with me to the book of Genesis chapter 1. And that's right, Brother Bram. He said it's this world's mindset. That's what's wrong with society. The world will tell you that if you, and let me tell you something, fellas, ain't nothing wrong with you doing housework too. Get in that kitchen and cook. Go do laundry. Don't be up here like that's woman work. No, that's a person's work. Yeah, they give them gender roles like washing dishes and cooking is a woman's job. No, it ain't. I know some men cooks that can kill a woman in the kitchen. You know what I'm saying? I know some women that can, fix cars. Well, I don't know them personally, but there's women out there that can fix cars better than a dude and look good while doing it. So it ain't no gender role. It's what society say. So fellas, right now, boys, men, whoever listening, if you single, go buy a cookbook, learn how to cook. Learn how to do your own laundry. Don't take it to your mama. If your mama still, hey mama, can you wash my clothes for me, you old punk? Stop. You learn how to wash. Go get a washing machine. Go read it on YouTube. Instead of looking at porn on YouTube, learn how to cook. Look up recipes and cut off the booties. And learn how to cook. Like, dang, I didn't know you can make this pasta risotto like that. Okay, let me take out. You know, you might have to be like, sorry, Big Tasha, but I got to learn how to cook because Brother Mike, yeah. You bring something to the table too. More than your little wingy wang. Bring something more. You can, man, I know how to cook. Be self-sufficient. Women like that. Women like that. I didn't start really cooking in our house till COVID. Because it was easier for me because my wife already would be in the kitchen cooking. But I didn't like cooking. I did laundry and I cleaned, but I didn't like cooking. But when I did cook, that's a nice break for my wife. You understand? So fellas, I'm holding y'all to that. Start now. Start now. Learn how to be resourceful men. Stop waiting on your mama to make your dentist appointments. Your teeth hurt, you be like, hey, who's the dentist I go to? My wife, man, I listened to you last night. Don't wait for your mama to do it. Be like, hey, I got this toothache. Who's that dentist? I need to call and make me an appointment. Take responsibility. You got a job? Hey, you ain't got to pay my cell phone bill for me no more, Ma. I got it. I take that. I take that bill, Ma. Go get you a bank account. Study money and study how to be these are things getting you prepared to run a household. These are things I didn't even think about till later in life. But these are things that'll keep you from me being 48 and still dealing with financial issues. Like, I'm too old for that. I'm doing stuff that was doing in my 20s. That food, I ain't that bad. But all that foolishness. I got a wife. I had a beautiful wife and a beautiful bunch of daughters. So I got a lot riding on me. as a man. So I'm telling you this now, and I will be checking up. Cook. This is your job this week. You cook. You clean. You off one day a week. That one day, baby, I'm a cook. And it ain't no hot dogs. You better not get in and cook no dang on hot dogs, especially if you got a woman that's cooking from scratch. You don't be like, I didn't cook from scratch. I opened the packet. Make whatever. Make the buns from scratch and then make something else from scratch. Get in there and cook. You cook breakfast for your woman.
From scratch.
You understand what I'm saying? Be resourceful. And that's all seriousness. Be an asset to your wife and not an ass. Turn to Genesis chapter 1. Role of the man. Genesis chapter 1, my dear love. Will you read verse 26, please?
And Elohim said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth.
Pause. So, he said, let us make man in our image. This isn't talking necessarily about one man. It's talking about mankind. Because in the latter verse, he made male and female. Right? He made us to have dominion over the earth. He made the husband to be the head of the household. We read that. You understand? Maybe if Eve hadn't ate from the fruit from the tree, maybe we could have been 50-50. Maybe it could be shared power. But let me ask you a question. When you're dealing with order, let me say this. What if you were part of a corporation and you were you were 3 out of 4 CEOs of that company? How much work would you think would get done? It's you and 3 other people, and y'all all got equal power in the company. If that, unless y'all all have the same mindset, things are gonna be always pushed back. You gotta always have one head. Always. You gotta always have one head. It's gotta be one of them that's gotta be over all 3 of us. It's gotta be one. Whether that's when it comes to a company, you gotta have one person that everybody answer to. Because if you have a bunch of heads, then you won't necessarily move if everybody share the same power. Necessarily.
You needed equity within yourself, not necessarily with your mate. I just didn't think that one personality trait should overrule another personality trait within yourself.
They gave you some medicine for you left. I understand what you were saying. So so now let's turn to Genesis chapter 2. Turn to Genesis 2 again. And then in Genesis 2, my dear, will you start at verse 7? No, I'm sorry. Verse 17. I'm sorry. That was my fault.
But of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, thou shalt not eat of it. For in the day thou shalt eat thereof, thou shalt surely die. And Elohim said, it is not good that the man should be alone. I will make him and help me for him.
Now pause. Who said it ain't good for man to be alone? Was it Oprah Winfrey? Was it? Oh, it ain't good for a man to be alone. That's why we got to treat our women right. It ain't nothing like y'all gonna get. Let me tell you, fellas, something. Y'all be like, I'm okay being by myself. You gonna get tired of your hand. Start getting calluses. You understand? Buying yourself little teddy bears to hold on to. Y'all don't get tired of that. When the Almighty say it ain't good to be alone, so I guess we better than the Almighty being by myself. It's better for me to be alone. So I guess I know more than the Almighty, I guess. The one who made me. No, it ain't good to be alone. It ain't good to be alone. That's like eating chicken with no, because when you eat meat, you don't eat meat because you like meat, you like the seasoning. Eat a piece of chicken with no seasoning. It's not very tasty. Yeah. You need that better half. Go ahead, sweetie.
And out of the ground, Yah Elohim formed every beast of the field, every fowl of the air, and brought them unto Adam to see what he would call them. And whatsoever Adam called every living creature, that was the name thereof. And Adam gave names to all cattle, and to the fowl of the air, and to every beast of the field. But for Adam there was not found an helpmeet for him. And Yah Elohim caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam, and he slept, and he took one of his ribs, and closed up the flesh instead thereof.
Now, go ahead. Finish reading. Yes, I'm sorry.
And the rib which Yah Elohim had taken from man made he a woman, and brought her unto the man.
Pause. Y'all come from us. Y'all come from us. So fellas, we gotta start treating our ribs right. We gotta make sure they well seasoned. We gotta make sure that they tender. Treat them right. All right. Very good. Very good. Very good. Now let's go to Proverbs. Go to Proverbs chapter 22. And then I'm going to answer your question real quick. And then we're going to go to Genesis chapter 7. Proverbs 22. Proverbs 22, my dear, will you read verse 6?
Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it.
There you go. Start them out early, guys. Start learning now. Train yourself. I didn't have that knowledge. Being a good man takes training. Being a humble man. I'm going to tell you the great, you know what? My daughter asked a question about virtuous, and I'm going to go over that real quick. To be virtuous, the word virtuous. I want you to write this in your notes. It's two questions, and I can hit them both at the same time. Virtue, having virtue. It's purity, being pure. It's cleanliness, brightness. You know also what it means to be virtuous? Another Hebrew word, in Hebrew, chastity. Do you know what chastity means? Yeah. What chastity in Hebrew is, it means the state of practice of refraining from extramarital or especially from all sexual intercourse. So basically, holding tight to your virginity. If you fellas are virgins, hold tight to your virginity and save it for your wife. There's nothing more beautiful than two couples getting together and they only known each other. Who you gonna compare each other to? That's what's kind of difficult when you get with a woman and she done had multiple mates. And then she like, I'm settling down. That might be why a lot of women cheat, because they can never find that one love that they had that they're looking for in everybody else. Ain't nothing like it. And just like a man, he been with a lot of women. A man, so now a woman coming through, she can't satisfy him because he used to just laying around and women doing different stuff, and he done been privy to different things, asking you dumb questions like, baby, how you feel about camels? What? Baby, you ever had a monkey? What is that? What is a monkey? Have you ever had one? That's what I'm asking. You understand what I'm saying? Hold tight to your chastity, your virginity. I know you brothers over there like, whatever, Brother Michael. They be throwing it at me. I be skating. They be out there. Yeah, when you out there skating, they be like, phew. You know what I'm saying? Let it hit the wall. Smack it. Smack it. Smack it. You better, woo. Hey, Grandma, that almost hit me. But I let it miss me, though. Did the shoulder roll on it. You understand? Hold tight to that. Hold tight to your virtue. Because, yes, men can be virtuous. Men can be virtuous, too. All right? My daughter asked me about the new moon. Saw something. Somebody brought me something. In the Apocrypha, in the book of Sirach, chapter 43, it talks about when we celebrate the new moon at the full moon. It's in that book. Is that a good enough indicator that we should start celebrating the new moon? I thought about that. But you know what's stopping me from that? Is the word day. In the day of the new moon. Now, if it said in the night of the new moon, I get it. But it says the day. What I say? Math ain't mathin'. I learned that from Tubi. Something. One of y'all? Math ain't mathin'. It ain't coming together. Day and moon don't match. You understand? So, you know. Right. I see it, Brown. I know the scripture, brother. But it still don't match up. Math ain't mathin'. Math ain't mathin'. So, but we're going to read up, and my daughter wanted to see where the Bible said new moon. So I'm going to take you to two places. Turn with me to the book of Isaiah 66. Isaiah chapter 66. Isaiah is right after the book of Jeremiah. I mean, right before the book of Jeremiah. Isaiah is right after the book of Song of Solomon, which is after the book of Proverbs. 66. Mm-hmm. Isaiah 66, my dear love, will you read verse 23? Isaiah 66 and 23.
And it shall come to pass that from one new moon to another, and from one Sabbath to another, shall all flesh come to worship before me, saith YAH.
Okay, so that's one place that is mentioned about the new moon. However, and also turn to okay, thanks, Brown. Turn to the book of 2 Kings. Turn to 2 Kings chapter 4. Yeah, I know about Psalms 81, but I'm still on the fence about Psalms 81, Brown. I'm gonna have to get back to that one. But yeah, I know what it says there too. But my daughter was wanting to see, and I know it says new moon, but I'm still kind of on the fence about that. But we'll go to 2 Kings. And thanks, Brown. We'll go to 2 Kings chapter 4. So let's go there. 2 Kings chapter 4. My dear, would you read the 23rd verse, please? Mm-hmm.
And he said, wherefore wilt thou go to him today? It is neither new moon nor Sabbath.
Okay.
As she said, it shall be well.
Okay, that's fine. All right, good. So that's one of the places. It's other places too, but there are places that speak of new moon. Now, what I did come across was there's when it talks about moon, it's not until you put the what would new be, sweetie? would that be? It's not an adjective. It wouldn't be an adjective. Right? What's that describes? So it would be an adjective then, right? So new is an adjective. It's not till you put the word new in front of moon that you get a totally different meaning. But if you take new away, in my studies, I saw that moon just means the sphere that's in the sky. Yes, ma'am.
I'm coming both scriptures, scriptures.
Mm-hmm.
It talks about the Sabbath.
Well, because it's talking about because those are the two things that, according to this, is how we bring in our months. We don't do it right, and how we keep the Sabbath. We don't, and the Sabbaths we're not doing right. So that's why I mentioned those two together. All right. Now let's go to the book of Genesis chapter 7. We're about to get this. Then we'll be caught up. Yeah. In the book of Genesis chapter 7. And then there's a question that I want y'all to meditate on. That'll be for homework. Genesis chapter 7. My dear, will you start reading at the first verse, my love?
And YAH said unto Noah, Come thou and all thy house into the ark, for thee have I seen righteous before me in this generation. Of every clean beast thou shalt take to thee by sevens, the male and his female, and of beasts that are not clean by two, the male and his female. Of fowls also of the air by sevens, the male and the female, to keep seed alive upon the face of all the earth. For yet 7 days, and I will cause it to rain upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights, and every living substance that I have made will I destroy from off the face of the earth. And Noah did according unto all that YAH commanded him. And Noah was 600 years old when the flood of waters was upon the earth.
Now Noah was 600 years old. Now, going back up real quick to verse 2, it says, of every beast take by sevens, male and female. So the beasts that are not clean take by two, male and female. So you take more of the clean beasts than you do the unclean beasts. Now let's say there were pigs there. And they said that, Noah ate there was some that might believe that he ate pig. No, he didn't. Because these animals that were on the ark were the only ones that were able to reproduce. So you take more of the clean beasts so you don't have to eat the unclean beasts. You dig what I'm saying?
That's why.
That's why it's 7 and a clean beast and 2 of the unclean beasts. So when it says here, when it deals with the in verse 3, it talks about, or in verse 2, when it talks about every clean beast, take by sevens. Beasts that are not clean, you take by 2. So every clean beast, you take by sevens. So you had 7 clean animals, maybe the same lineage. Like you might have had 7 cows, you got 7 lambs, you got 7 goats, 7 bulls, 7 of all these clean animals. And then you take the unclean by 2, so you'll have 2 pigs. You might have 2 dogs, 2 cats, 2 monkeys, 2 gorillas, 2 giraffes. You're taking them in by 2 because those are unclean animals. We can't eat them. But the ones that are clean, you get more of. Continue reading, my love. Verse 7.
And Noah went in, and his sons and his wife, and his sons' wives with him, into the ark because of the waters of the flood, of clean beasts and of beasts that are not clean, fowls and of everything that creepeth upon the earth. There went into unto Noah into the ark the male and the female, as Elohim had commanded Noah. And it came to pass after 7 days that the waters of the flood were upon the earth. In the 600th year of Noah's life, in the 2nd month, the 17th day of the month, the same day were all the fountains of the great deep broken up, and the windows of heaven were opened.
So if you didn't make it on that ark, You got water coming up to you. You might go outside, and could you imagine the people who go outside go, it's raining. Oh well. Now it's coming harder. So now the earth is opening up. So now you got water to your feet. You like, oh. Now it's to your ankles. Now it's to your thigh. Now it's up here. And the waters aren't receding. They're still coming. That's why we need to be careful. This is a great barometer to show the indignation that Yah puts on the wicked. We have to be careful and begin to perfect our walk. Because these people, the Almighty, let me tell you something. Let's not excuse Yah's mercy for unconditional love. The Almighty showed the people mercy by allowing them to at least get up 600 years. Noah had been telling them, man, it's coming. Bruh, get right. Do you know how many centuries he lived? Do you know how many people lived and died and lived and died? And he saw this? He's over 600 years old and the waters are coming. Then you look at the patience of Noah. Noah wasn't even nowhere near 600 years when this prophecy came to him. You know how many centuries it took? You know how easy that if we were to use our mentalities today, how we would have gave up? Yeah, you got me making this humongous boat. People mocking me. They laughing at me. They talking about my family and ain't nothing happening. No. Noah kept on working. I believe in the Most High. How many of us will have that same fortitude when it comes to the Most High? How many of us will have that same fortitude to keep working? Yahweh said that I'm going to do it. But you know what we do? We hit that nail. Boom. I know it's only been a week since you talked to me, but you said the rain was coming. Okay, I'll keep working on the boat. 2 weeks come. Yahweh, you really think you... 3 weeks. Yeah, ain't nothing coming. You start to put the hammer down. And then that's when your faith is tested. Told you I'm coming. So you mean to tell me I told you that I'm coming and you can't keep working? Don't worry about when it's coming. I told you I'm coming.
He wasn't even our faith.
Well, he was. He was. It was just that Israel, Yahweh has always been the people's Elohim. Like Noah, he was always Noah's Elohim. But there was not a nation called Israel yet. You understand? But Yahweh was always with the righteous, the Abrahams, the Noahs, the Seths, the Jobs. You understand? So he said, man, keep nailing. Don't stop banging. Keep it moving, son. Yeah, but Yah, you said this was not, you said this was gonna happen. Fool, I said keep going. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stop. Because it's getting close to the evening. I'm gonna read this poem that y'all blessed me with. So guess what, guys? Not only do we have to do 7, but we're going to read 8 as well. So that's homework too. So we're going to finish up 7, and then we got to go into 8. Praise Yahweh. He blessed me with this poem. Said, the eyes of Yah are in every place, but darkness is light to our King. We sing to the glory of our Maker. The heavens are his footstool. By his touch, all things came to be. The beauty of beauty is inspired by him. Praise Yah. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take a pause. We're going to, because I think it's, fellas, can you do me a favor, one of y'all? Go see if it's dark If it's getting dark outside, I think the sun starts going down around this time.
It's 5:35.
Hmm.
It's about
5:35. Okay. It's dark. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and stop here. Like I said, I had so much. It's dark. All right. Thank you, brother. All right. So what we're gonna do is the Sabbath has been over. We're gonna go ahead and stop. Are there any comments or questions? Praise the mighty to Yahweh. We're gonna pick up and finish Yah willing next week. There's no rush for real. Why do we rush? Why do we rush lessons? It's not for me to understand. There ain't no rush on it. We'll finish it up. Because I still haven't touched the Torah base. Oh, two things that I want you to do. Shabbat shalom, brother. We love you, brother Bram. Shabbat shalom. There's two things that I want you guys. Here's two things for homework. If you hear me real quick, Bram. Y'all hear me out there real quick. There's two things for homework. One, I want you to look up what masculinity means and femininity. That's one. And then two, I got a question for you. In the book of Ecclesiastes. Let's see. Let's see if I can find it. This is going to be homework. Okay. Read Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verses 16 to 18. Explain to me what he means by don't be over righteous much. That's the homework. Read first. The first part is look up the words masculine and feminine. And then the next part of your homework, it's actually 3. Read Ecclesiastes 7, verses 16 to 18. And then the third one is read Genesis 8. And then, y'all willing, we're going to finish up chapter 7 and verse 8. Praise Yahweh. Thank you, my brother. We love you, Brown. So, study though. That's your homework. 1, look up masculine and feminine. 2, read Ecclesiastes 7, verses 16 and 18. What does he mean by being over righteous much? And then the third one is read Genesis chapter 8. And then we'll be caught up on our Torah reading. And y'all willing, I'll finish up. We'll get into some other things too. Now, do you guys have any questions that you want to go over, that you would like for me to go over? You got the new moon and we dealt with virtue. You cool with that? All right. Does anyone have any questions or anything that you would like me to go over, y'all willing, next week? No, I didn't. So your questions will have to be next week. The questions that my wife had asked was, how can you tell if the hand of Yahweh is removed from you? All right. So that's one of the things there. So we're good with that. Praise Yah. Are there any comments? Okay. Like I said, the Sabbath is over. It's been over. So it looks like I'm gonna have to stop about 5 o'clock then. You said it's too early? Yeah. It's 5:30. Okay with everybody if I stop at 5:30? Okay. All right, we'll do. Okay. So my elder confirmed it. We'll stop at 5:30. We'll start still at 12. And then go to 5:30 on the Sabbath day. And that way, praise Yah. Okay. So with that being said, I want to thank everyone for tuning in. Praise Yahweh. Thought it was a very productive class. All the wisdom that flowed. I hope that you sisters aren't offended by anything that I said. It wasn't to offend, but to open your eyes to your own greatness. I want you women now to go into the mirror, and when you look in the mirror, you should see how beautiful you truly are. All right? You know what? I'll tell you what. Here's a challenge, and this is for the sisters. Hey, Brown, you gonna leave me alone, man. I'm trying. You like, so down for us. It's at 429. Yeah, okay. Anybody help because you in Jerusalem? No, I'm messing with you. I love you, brother. I'm messing with you, man. But I want you sisters to do something this week. And then I want you to journal it in your notes. Here's the fourth thing, but this is only for you women. I want you to look in the mirror as soon as you get up in the morning, and I want you to write down what it is you saw beautiful about yourself. You hear me, Sister Angela? Okay, I got 4 assignments for us to do this week. One is, thank you, Sister Beulah, praise Yahweh. Thank you, sis. One is I want you to look up masculine and feminine. 2, I want you to read Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verses 16 to 18. 3, I want you to read Genesis 8. And 4, the fourth one is what I want you to do, but you can't hear me over conversation. The fourth one is I want you to get up in the morning, and this is for the ladies, get up in the morning and look at yourself in the mirror. And I want you to document in your notes that you use today. I want you to write down what beauty did you see in yourself. Just 4. 2 counts as 1.
For every day. It's 6 days until the next Saturday.
No, just tomorrow.
Just do it tomorrow.
Now, if you choose to do it every day, then praise Yahweh. But I just want you to do it tomorrow, because you got to have a starting base. Yep. And do it without no makeup, no hair done, none of that. Just get out the bed, thank Yahweh, and go look in the mirror. Breath stinking and all. All right. So, any comments, any questions, we'll go ahead and pray out. All right. Praise Yahweh. Man, I thank all y'all for listening. I thank Sister Beulah, Brother Brown, Sister Yehuda. I want to thank Sister Andrea. Sister Andrea, we haven't seen you on here in a while. Man, don't do that. Keep in contact. I want to thank Sister Yehuda. And Victor, too. Victor got on here, but I was hoping he re-asked his question. I think I missed it. But if you can, come back on here again. Praise Yah. I want to thank y'all for listening, for tuning in, for being, you know what I'm saying, just for your support, both monetarily, and we appreciate the offerings you send in and all that. Praise the mighty Yahweh. So let me see here. Let me make sure I got everything. Let's see here. I want to thank my Sister Nadee, for tuning in with us and sharing wisdom. Thank you, sis. We love you. We love you and them babies. Praise Yahweh. Thank you, sis. You know, and of course, like I said, we thank Yehuda Lioness, and we definitely thank you guys, and we love and all you guys. And like I said, it's so glad we haven't heard from you, Sister Andrea, in a while. So it was glad for you to jump on. Praise Yahweh. So y'all willing, next week we'll be starting at 12 o'clock again, but we'll be ending at 5:30. Praise Yah. All right. So what we're going to go ahead and do now is we're going to go ahead and pray out. I will ask my daughter again to read Numbers 6 again, please. Read those verses again for me, my love. Read starting at verse 24 and read 24 and 27, and we're going to pray it out.
Yah bless thee and keep thee. Yah make his face shine upon thee and be gracious unto thee. Yah lift up his countenance upon thee and give thee peace. They shall put my name upon the children of Israel. Bless thee.
Blessed be Yah. Blessed be your holy kingdom. Blessed be your holy and righteous name. Thank you for a beautiful Sabbath. Thank you for beautiful lessons. Thank you for opening our hearts to receive the edification of you. Thank you for protecting us. Thank you for allowing us to broadcast and to have a place to worship you in, Yah. Thank you for your mercy and your compassion. Blessed be your holy and righteous name. And I pray that these words are accepted by you, Yahweh, on behalf of us. For without you, we're nothing. Hallelujah.
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 Praise the mighty Yah. Yah is righteous. Yah is holy. And Yah is to be magnified. Amen. All right. And once again, we thank you. Praise the mighty Yahweh. And hopefully, Yah willing, you tune in with us next week. And we'll be back on Yah willing next week. You can also do the homework assignments too. And yeah, that's what we'll do. So Yah willing, we'll catch you next week. And may Yah continually be our guide and protector. For he is righteous and there is none besides him. Praise his holy and righteous name. Praise Yah. Shalom, shalom.
His favorite.
It's dirt. It's dirt.